Lunchtime concert of the year. Firstly, just a couple of housekeeping. A huge thank you to everyone for all the support in the last couple of events we've had. We've had a great turnout in the Lunchtime concerts, and hopefully it'll keep going, especially with the great Lunchtime concert we have today. Also, not to sound like an airline hostess, but under your seats, or on your seats, you'll see we have just announced our Harp Day concert, which is going to be on October 17th. We've got Lisa Kelly and Alana Thornburg along with some UCC Harpers. It's going to be a great concert. Tickets, I'm sure, will fly out the door once we have the Eventbrite link, which will be coming really soon, so just check out our social media for that. But without further ado, I think a huge round of applause should be given to Paul Clesham and Joanne Quirke.
Thanks everybody for coming here, very good. We're going to play some music. I'm only saying I get awfully bored if I play in the one key the whole time, so I've got a few different toys here that I'll play around with, so I'll tell you what I'm doing as I'm changing things. But we're going to start off with some reels. Paul's going to be on piano for now, but I think he's got a concertina hidden behind there somewhere, so we might change over in a minute. But we're going to start with Fisherman's Island, written by... Every day, right. Memories for Rest of London, written by Josie McDermott, and then The Limerick Glasses. I don't know who that was written by, I don't think we do know. So, hope you enjoy. Let's get an Paul, if you want to say anything on stage,
Not
feel free. We might keep going with a couple of horn types. First one is, I have the names written down and tune pad for some of them because I'm also named. First one is the Cuckoo's Nest, and the second one is Woodcock Hill. So I know there's two versions of the Cuckoo's Nest, but this is the 3-part version, so we'll give them a blast. part of the flute now. Go back to D. We're playing an E flat until now. just for a bit of a lift. And honestly, it was much easier on the big lifting, so a nice break. We're going to continue with a slow air firstly. So swap back to D for a little bit of a deeper sound, and then we're going to put 2 jigs after that. So the slow air is called Lament for Tom McHale, and it was written by Josie McDermott, just like one of the reels earlier, in memory of the great whistle player Tom McHale, who was tragically killed at a very early age. So it's in memory of him. And then the 2 jigs that we're going to play, according to TunePal, are called The Pipe on the Hob and A Tailor I Am. I did not know those names until a couple of hours ago, so I hope they're right. And we're back in D. We had issues with the transposition of the keyboard earlier. I think we're sorted. So it's going to be yeah. swapping keys again to keep ourselves entertained. The next ones they're a little bit different. They're Highland flings. So they've got that kind of like Scottish feel to them, the snap rhythm. There's just 2 of them, and I don't have names for either of them, so there's just 2 Highland flings. And I'm going to swap to an F flute this time. So I might get an A again, Paul. Or give me an F maybe. It might be good. Might go back to the shell again, Paul. This is the second last change of key, I think. We figured out the transposition anyway. We also, you might listen carefully and hear an added percussion element there. I paid extra for the click on that D there, definitely, yeah. So we're going to keep going with a couple of polkas. The first one, I don't have a name for. No. It's polka in A minor, and kind of goes to A major first. The second one I think is called Lord Seaforth, and then the third one I also don't have a name for. I'm clearly not very good at names. It's not my strong point. So, put it in A again. one more on the flute for now, and piano. I think this might be the last flute and piano combination. I might play some whistle and Paul might get a concertina then. So the first piece we're going to play is a slow piece written by, was Tommy Kniff, I think, was it? And it's called 1 to 1, and it was written for his wedding date to Michelle Finnerty, who was lecturing in the music department. So that's the first one, and then we're going to finish off with 2 reels. So the first one is Fire Clown Rat, written by Conor Connell, great work there. And afterwards we have The Street Fair. I remember that it was written by Ed Reilly this time. You don't have to remind me. Maybe the next one. So yeah, we'll get those going. might try one on the whistle then. Go back to there's going to be a hornpipe first, and that's called Home and Bridge. And then 2 reels afterwards, the Leitrim Lilters and the Kyleback Ramblers, which was a Finbar Dwyer composition. And I have a slightly unusual version of it. It's a bit weird. I quite like it, but it's not the normal version. So if you know the normal tune, you're probably not going to recognise parts of it. That's okay too. My own interpretation. Could I get an A again, Paul? Sorry. we're going to play some London Concertina. Do we want to hear both?
Yeah.
We can't hear you, not we'll play 2 steps maybe. Jigs, polkas. We'll play some polkas first, will we? Feel free to introduce them, Paul, if you want to. No, I don't think I know the names either. I don't know the name of the first one at all. The second one, I think, it was written by Connie O'Connell, but I don't know the name of it. And the third one, I know that it was composed by Matt Cranach.
Yeah, Daybreak, yeah.
We're slowly building up. No, nothing showing the composer, showing both name and composer. Yeah, big focus. Like an A again.
Yeah.
What do you think? John plays this one, so there. Joanne. Somewhere. No, he's gone. Oh, hiding. Should have asked him to bring the game.
Yeah.
Play those with Fiona Goodwin. So.
Yeah.
Next time we'll think ahead. Will we play one more ball? And thank you so much for having us. Thanks to TradSoc for bringing us in today. I was going to say, I know we both came here. Paul is still here. He's just moved in permanently on his stage. But we've both studied and are studying here, so it's lovely to be back and to come back and see the place again and get a feeling of the place. So, and thank you so much for having us today. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you passed an hour for lunch break and that you're not too busy for the rest of the afternoon. I might just play 2 jigs to finish. And something like swans anyway for the first time.
Swan Among the Rushes.
The Swan Among the Rushes. And then Bulgarina Smita is the second one. So, yeah, we'll learn names at some point. No. different points in the set. 1, 2, 3.